Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste friends. This is a video on Muhurtha selection using Jagannatha Hora. See, our life is very orderly structured by our rishis into multiple events. If we have these 64 samskaras, and apart from that, also even in modern times, we are required to take up multiple activities as we progress in life. And if we can choose the right date, right time, right month for each of the events, uh, that can be very fruitful to us. And if we miss that, it could be also problematic to us. So, what do the rishis say about this? That exactly is what is Muhurtha, selecting the right time for an event. So very well structured is the rishis way of life, and this is there are multiple tools available, but we have to pay for them. And in case we are looking for something that we can do ourselves with the resources available for selecting the right muhurta, I thought it would be great. In fact, recently someone approached me for a date for, uh, I think, let me show you that. They wanted their son's Upanayanam to be conducted. So here I have listed multiple events. So that started me to create this Excel. Though I have been doing it in different way. I normally what I do was I look into Panchanga and get to know what are the good dates in terms of which nakshatras suit particular event. So in this case, suppose Upanayanam, I started making this Excel. See, Ashwini is a good nakshatra for Upanayanam, whereas Bharani Kritika are not so good. Similarly, Ardra is not good. Aslesha is not good, and so on and so forth. Not only nakshatras, we have the tithis, we have the suitable lagnas, which varas. This is part of the astrological muhurta knowledge. And I should say, Ernst Wilhelm's excellent book on muhurta is a fantastic resource for all this. So that triggered me to create this Excel. And initially, I thought to put everything in Excel by more of an independent nature. But then when normally what I do, I start with Jagannath Ora. This is, let me show you what I do. I open Jagannath Ora. They wanted a date in 2024 for the son's Upanayanam. So once of course, one has to be careful in Jagannath Ora and what ayanams I put in true Lagari, Chitra Paksha Lagari there. And I use mean notes normally. And with these settings and for my local latitude, longitude, wherever I live, suppose I want the dates for 2024, what I do is first I create 2024, say January 1st, 2024 in Jagannath Vara. And there is an option for, if you go to the miscellany tab, and there at the bottom we have the Panchanga. In the Panchanga, since you put for January 1st, it is coming for January 1st. You right click here, right click, and there is an option called Copy Monthly Panchanga in DP format. So I go to that in DP format. And from January 1st to 2024, instead of taking number of days to be whatever is given there, maximum it allows 400 days. So if you go and apply the maximum 400 days, it takes a while for it to copy all the data for the year 2024 that we have said. It's more than not only for 2024, it will spill over to the next year as well, because the maximum we are pulling out. So once we do that, because otherwise, without copying it, can we use Jagannath Vara directly without going into the Panchanga element? Then day after day, we have to check whether this suits or that suits. That's a very troublesome affair. So the best way is to go back to another tool from Jagannatha Hora, and then maybe use it also so it has already copied, see, successfully copied. So you can paste it to any program. This I copy and I have pasted in the red portion here. In fact, I have pasted 2023 full data just as what I did for 2024 now. And I also copied and pasted the 2024 data as is. So what does this data contain? It tells you the year, month. It has, see, if we walk through this, the Ritu, what is the solar month, lunar month, and all that, Karana. It has multiple it also tells you Durmuhurtas, it also tells you sunrise, sunset, and each of the lagnas, when lagna is starting, at what time Taurus is starting, and all that. It also tells you multiple things in Mesham, Rishabham, Mithanam, what all are the gragas at that day, on that day. So this is a fantastic tool. We can, I just paste it in Jagannath Vara and then come to creating a what is called a master sheet. In the master sheet, I have a table created now. Basically, I am copying it from Jagannath Vara. So I have pasted here, copied basic these formulas take the data from this resource. The Gregorian date, year, month, all this as you can see here. And if you check, there is the Tithi, I called it Tithi 1 because each day, so there could be a Tithi and also a Tithi 2, which could be the same day. There could be 7:30 p.m. There is till 7:30 p.m. The Tithi changes as 7:13 p.m. Yeah, Dasami. And then there is a next day Tithi comes to be, when this is not listed in Jagannath Vara, I copy it as a Ekadasi from the next row there. So the two Tithis sometimes, because there is a nakshatra change also of Ashwini and Bharani, both happen there. The yogas are listed, Karanas are listed. And this is DNT I put, of course, I've not let. Initially, I thought of using Jagannath Vara fully for my entire computations because it does everything. But then I realized later that this sometimes a nakshatra changes the next day, and there is a star given in Jagannath Vara. If you go to Jagannath Vara, if you see here, some days 3.50 star. The star means it is the next day. But whereas when you paste it in Excel, the star does not appear. You just get a 350, and that is misleading because you get it on the same day. So we don't get the star. So there is we don't clearly get to know whether it is for that day or for the next day that the time is given. So that becomes a issue. So I could not rely fully on Jagannatha Vara for some of the elements. So for that, what I did was I created a, of course, Vara itself can be a misleading factor for Westerners because Vara means the weekday after sunrise. So that is called the Vara. So Vedic Vara is the weekday which actually starts only at sunrise. So we need to know when sunrise is, and I have formulas for that to compute what to use for that. So that is a separate list here. Of course, uh, it will be not a problem because uh, so the then as I said that star is not coming, so I like to compute myself the tithi and nakshatra say at a particular given time. So if the user has the provision to modify this time by choosing, of course, the time zone and the time together, and he can use different Ainamsa. The same Ainamsa that he uses in Jagannath Vara, that has to be used here as well. So this calculates the sun's longitude, moon's longitude as per this Ainamsa for this time. And then the Tithi prevailing at this time. And of course, the Tithi type, T type is the Tithi type, the nakshatra number, the nakshatra and all that. Then here we come to something very important factor called the VTN yogas. So this is user does not have to use this sheet, but in case he wants to separately check for a particular day like a weekday, tithi and nakshatra, then he can also use it independently. But this is more of a resource for the master sheet. So here what VN means Vara and Nakshatra combination. So Vara Nakshatra yogas. VT is Vara Tithi yogas. VTN is Tithi Nakshatra Asubha yogas. VTN is the Vara Tithi Nakshatra yogas. These are very, very important for choosing a Muhurtha. So this is used in the main sheet, and for that I need to know the correct tithi and the nakshatra prevailing at a given time. So the time is chosen by the individual, and the Vara, Tithi, Nakshatra are computed here, and based upon that, it maybe I can hide this sheet. It computes a Vara Nakshatra Yoga, Vara Tithi good and bad, and Tithi Nakshatra bad, and there is nothing called Tithi Nakshatra good. I follow mainly the book by Muhurtha by Ernst Willem. So Vara Tithi Nakshatra combination here. So this is all very nicely listed. So let me illustrate how I use it. So in our case, say, let me check it's Upanayanam date, right? So if you have to choose for a Upanayanam, so I want date only 2024. So I have slices here. In fact, there are 731 rows of data now because I'm computing for 2 years now. So from 2023 to all the way to the end of 2024, 31st December 2024, we have data now here. And in case you want to do it for any other year, just go to Jagannath Vara and populate this. That's the only thing. Just paste it at this point, and then pull the data as required in this table. So I want to use it for 2024. I'm not interested in 2023 anymore. So 2024 and say it is as I said, I have to look for Upanayanam only. For Upanayanam, Uttarayana is the most recommended Ayana. Ayana is the entire 12 years is divided into 2 Ayanas. One is from Capricorn to Cancer. When Sun moves, we have the Uttarayana, and Cancer to Capricorn is Dakshinayana. And Upanayanam is done normally in Uttarayana. Upanayanam is the sacred thread initiation, like a baptism. So Uttarayana is preferred for that. And within that, you normally, for each of the sects, like the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, Vasanta is preferred for a Brahmin. So this person was a Brahmin who approached me. So and these are the 3 months that come in the Vasanta Ritu. Okay, and Chaitra, Vishaka, and all that. Normally Shukla Paksha is preferred, so I jump over to that. So depending on, and Tithi number I have put here. Normally we don't prefer this is for a multiple choice. We can suppose I want to include or exclude Ashtami. Ashtami is excluded. So you remove Ashtami, Navami. So all that you can remove. So if you are not aware of what is to be removed, you can better refer to the book that I am referring to, which is Ernst Willem's resources or Panchanga, whatever. So you can, in this case, let me check you, this is Upanayanam. So for Upanayanam, the Tithis that are to be excluded are Amavasya, Prathama, Chaturthi. Normally all these are bad Tithis for good events. So this is Ashtami, Navami, and also Ekadasi is not preferred. Chaturdashi, even Purnima is not preferred. So Ashtami, Navami are removed. Even Prathama is to be removed. So what you can do is every time you click here, it starts computing. So one way you can avoid that is maybe go to the formula and maybe make it manual so that you can quickly do your activity and then finally make it automatic. Even Ekadasi is not preferred as we saw. Then we don't prefer Chaturdashi, we don't prefer Purnima or Amavasya. Even 15 is 16 is Amavasya. Anyway, Amavasya is not preferred for any of the activities other than special activities. So depending on what your requirement is, you click and remove things here. Even Chaturthi is not preferred. So, and Shashti, is it okay or not? You can go to and see Shashti Amma is okay. So Panchami, Shashti, Saptami are allowed. So you can Panchami, Shashti, Saptami are allowed. And nakshatras, some nakshatras are not preferred, so you have to basically come here and exclude those nakshatras. Your Bharani, Kritika, all that to be excluded. So Bharani is here again multiple choices. I'll click here. Bharani is removed, Kritika is to be removed. Then I think Ardra will be removed. You have resource sheet further, Ardra is removed. You have Aslesha, Magapura, Purva Bhadra, Pubba. So Aslesha, Puppa, even Maha. I don't see Magam here. Why? Okay, is Magam somewhere here? It got eliminated somehow within these dates. So is the okay, that would have already got filtered out because of Tithi filtering. So you don't have to worry about that. So maybe if whatever is to be Chitra, Swati are there, you can check here. Chitra, Swati are allowed. You don't prefer Vishaka, you don't prefer Jeshta to Purvashada. Anyway, those are already gone. So because of other filterings. So, and we don't prefer here again multiple choices. Suppose you remove Tuesday, you remove Saturday, which are not welcome for these activities. Then you are left out with some dates. And these dates need not necessarily be the final dates. We have the individual Tara Balam to be selected, right? So these come to be, say, Ashtami is there, Tithi 2 is Ashtami, and this is anyway not a preferred date because 3-4 a.m. in the midnight itself, the nakshatra changes from Punarvasu to Pushya. Of course, Pushya is already eliminated for other reasons, getting reasons here. Anyway, you can go to even the individual taras and eliminate the other nakshatras. So between Chaitra and Vaishaka, Vaishaka is a better month in fact. So I click on Vaishaka alone, we get only 3 dates. Vaishaka is for the Upanayana dates. So either year, depending on what time you want to choose, that you can put yourself because things would be different. So this is a Vainasha date, so definitely not a preferred. VTN has to be given more importance. If you go through the book by Ernst Willem on Muhurtha, that's an excellent resource. So this again, you'll have to eliminate this because you don't do it on a. So I would prefer directly filter this by finally a color also. So this is again bad, but of the lot is somewhat a better date because you pay more weightage to this than to this. So something I have arrived at says 20th May 2024. Whether it is good or not for the individual, we have to definitely check back on Tara Balam. So the nakshatra that day happens to be, see the nakshatra here is the Vara is Monday, the nakshatra is Chitra nakshatra. So is Chitra good for the person or not? You have to go to the Tara Balam for the individual and put is, I think, is moon is, I think, Purvashada. I think is ascendant is in Pushya, as far as I remember. Yeah, Pushya. I think his sun is in Satabhishek. I don't remember clearly. Okay, whatever you do for the person. Okay. And then this gives you the various nakshatras that are good for him. Of course, since you put this to be under calculation options as manual, it might not have computed. So be very careful. Ask it to compute again. So that's better. So these are the nakshatras that have Tara Bala from all the 3 points. But from the moon is the most important. So you want to check only from the moon. You can maybe put everything as the same nakshatra and then check if Tara Balam is there or not. So you put Purvashada here, Purvashada here. So it computes thinking everything to be that of the moon. So it lists out all that nakshatras. And unfortunately, Chitra is not here in the list. So maybe I have to refine back my choice depending upon releasing some choices here and maybe have a compromise date or something, because all that while you cannot get the best date anytime. So this way I narrow down on the dates. So better clear everything off. As we clear, it will start computing again. So better when you clear, you make the formula to be under manual and then clear things here quickly so that it will not give you trouble in terms of clearing the filters. And then you already put in something called a color filter. Yeah, so you remove the color filter. These were the things that took a lot of time for me to put in the Vara Nakshatra, Vara Tithi and all that. Luckily, I had one of our subscribers by name Karthikeyan who helped me a lot in terms of checking back these sanity checks here and there, correcting things, finding out mistakes in this file. I should strongly thank him for all the efforts that he put in to make this what it is today. So this gives you, especially the more useful ones would be the say the Pushkara and the Tri Pushkara dates, which are extremely powerful dates. So you can, for this particular time, the user inputs time, it can be maybe corrected to say 10 a.m. or whatever you want. Then, of course, you'll have to make it, the formulas has to be calculated automatically now. So just wait for it to update and then you check again. You just have to clear the filter and then maybe redo the filtering again by color. So it is calculating again. So all these Tri Pushkara, yeah, Tri Pushkara day is a very powerful day which would repeat a thing 3 times. If it's a good thing that you do, it will get repeated 3 times. If it's a bad thing that happens like a death, there'll be 3 deaths at the family in the family. If maybe you bring the dead body home and all that. So you have to be extremely careful in handling these Tri Pushkara dates. Similarly, Dvi Pushkara dates would repeat twice. So one has to be extremely careful in handling this. But they are very powerful dates. And people might ask, I'm not seeing this particular getting repeated. I mean, if a particular date is actually Tri Pushkara, it's not showing up here. That could happen if you give the time wrongly. For this given time, whether Tri Pushkara happens or not is what this computation does. It doesn't tell you when the Tri Pushkara starts and when it. See, Tri Pushkara is a VTN yoga. VTN is Vara, Tithi, Nakshatra combination yoga. So for this time, what is the Vara, Tithi, Nakshatra? That is what is computed. When this Tithi changes, that is actually year, but the combination when that changes is not computed here. So that might be something you might have to play around and check. But for a given time, is this a good time? Since you are going to do, say, in this case, Upanayana, it's a good date that you want to prefer. It's nothing wrong. So Tri Pushkara, if it happens to be a Tri Pushkara day, it would be great. So that way, VTN yoga is a very powerful yoga. This computation, see, Sutha is something which will be very fruitful. Sutha is giving birth to a child or something like that, which is fruitful. So Sutha would be an extremely good day for a VTN yoga. It is again computing to 90%. So these are Sutha dates, which will be, and in this VT, if you want to, you can prefer. So I have given green to be a positive, red to be something negative. So based upon that, you can choose the particular date that would be useful to you. This way, I am actually using Jagannatha Vara because Jagannath Aura computes many things very comfortably. I don't have to repeat all those calculations here. So I don't see. One thing is you can yoga is computed, so you can filter out bad yogas. So whichever is not this Atigandha and all are not very welcome yogas. So you can filter out those things. Karana also depending on what event you want to do. So those understanding of what Karana to use for which event, that is apart from what this Excel can do. But you should know it beforehand, or you should consult a Muhurtha book and then get back to your Vishtikarana. Maybe I would not prefer. So you can maybe remove that from the filter here, and then there you stand to choose the right moment for your event. So this is how this, I'll share this Excel file with you. This would be a very powerful tool for multiple usage. You can add on to the resource sheet because it's not a full reference. I've just indicated some events. So Tirumangalyam, Vibhaga and all that as per my Panchanga that I refer to. And this is not in exhaustive. So you can keep adding on to this and use this comfortably. And yeah, hopefully I have given the link to this file. Yeah, make use of it. Give in the comment section how useful it is and what more can be added to it. And let us build together in this community of learning. Welcome. Thank you so much.